Welcome to our YouTube channel. Today we are having a sit down with one of the greatest pioneers of our time. Uh, if you ask some of the returned missionaries who served in the South Africa Cape Town mission about the Mbilases, they will definitely know who we are talking about. This is a family that has set a good example, that has lifted lives, touched hearts, and strengthened testimonies. And so today we are having a sit down with Tata Mbilase. And Tata Mbilase, thank you for allowing us to have this wonderful opportunity to have a sit down with you. I just wanted to ask you to maybe introduce yourself and tell us a bit about who you are and where you come from.
Well, I am known as Obadiah or Obadiah Mzimkulu Mbilase. Yes, born in Kumbu in 1936, left Kumbu in 1951 for PE. Stayed there up to 1963. When I was I'd come back from Robben Island for political reasons, so I went back to Kumbu.
Okay.
When I was being deported to Mdantsane in East London.
Okay.
So I stole away, fled to where I was born, Kumbu. But because I, grew up largely in PE, so I'd forgotten about, the countryside. I decided to leave Kumbu and I stay now in Amtata.
Okay.
But I still retain a home in Kumbu.
Okay.
I have my great home is in Kumbu.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. And we are going to come to your political activism. But now I would like you to tell us a bit about your upbringing. How was it like growing up, and where did you grow up,
Yeah.
and what values were you taught?
Yeah. Yeah. In answer to this, well, I can say briefly about me, but what I'll be stating, and I have already stated, is born in my book.
Okay.
Yeah, one of my autobiography is having everything about my life. Born of a married couple, my father having gone as far as standard 4 at school, and my mother uneducated, completely uneducated, but what about Christian. My mother is so famous even today. She passed on long ago, as you can hear about even my birth date, So she passed on. My father passed on when I was hardly 8 years. I was young.
Okay.
So my father, I was brought up by my mother. So I left her in Kumbu to join my sister, who was married and living in Port Elizabeth.
Okay.
So I was brought up by that sister now from that time, the 50s. Yeah. And she gave me education. Okay. And that education, I'll never forget, because I would not have led the life I've led if I did not have that type of education, which I received under very, difficult situations. You see, And she looked out after me because she had gone up to standard four just like my father.
Okay.
Had passed on, and I told you, as I say, she brought me up very well, and she looked after me very, very well. So I won't say much because I'm going to send you, if
Okay.
you can give your email address,
Okay.
that book,
That book. All right.
and other books as well, because I've now written more than 10 books,
Yeah. Okay.
and which I've sent to various people, my colleagues at various places. So my life is very vast.
Okay.
Because of, when I got arrested in 1963, I'd already married.
Oh. Okay. Okay.
And that marriage came to an end because my wife could not meet me. I was just all over. I nearly left the country as a refugee. I nearly fled the country because when I got to Transkei, I could not be employed. My applications, I was already a teacher when I was arrested, having completed a college degree, so-called, as a teacher. It was a special course that was done only in Johannesburg.
Okay.
Yeah. It was called T3 Senior. Yeah, it had some degree courses, 4 degree courses. So when I completed my education as now a teacher, yeah, I already had the first year BA degree, which I completed. I started a school at Robben Island. I won't go into details. Okay. Because I'm going to send you, I'm going to get everything on the book. I must just say, because it's a long story. And was hold me because I can talk endlessly as an old man.
No, it's fine. We enjoy hearing.
So my birth is true that I'm the 30th child of my family. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Big family. But I was able to see, I think, 4 of us. Yeah, it was 1, 2. The firstborn was born in 1910. That was our firstborn, and my sister, I'm talking about, was born in 1918. Okay. Then the others that were born, then I was born in 1936. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, that is a rich history, very interesting, and I'm glad you touched a bit on your political activism, but as well you are educated. You seem like you have. I know Owam told me a lot about your books and how you still type even now, even at this age. And this wife I'm now having, can't believe it. Something that I never thought about is the third wife. Okay. Of mine. Okay. Because I just had to divorce that one. Okay. But it's a useless divorce because even yesterday we paid her a visit. She stays here in Cape Town. Oh, okay. I have a big family here in Cape Town. Okay. She gave me 2 children, son and a daughter. The son was working for the municipality of Cape Town. Was employed here. I brought him up. Although that divorce, in fact, it was not effective. It was not a divorce as such. It was just because I wanted to marry. And I married again. And then I was given children. Okay. Quite a number of them too. Okay. This time. Yeah, yeah. Okay. So all told, now this one is the last one, and then I went for this one. True hardships. I've gone through hardships. I'm not delving into all those situations. You get them. I've written them.
on the book, in the books.
I'm not afraid of the life I've led.
That's interesting.
Interestingly, my family still belongs to the Presbyterian Church.
Okay.
But I would say now they are in different churches because now I have 3 sets of children, all told about 28. I've had so many children in life, and boys and girls, on both sides. And what a blessing to me now, because I've been able to educate all of them. I have doctors, lawyers, 2 lawyers, and 1 medical doctor. And another is a nurse. Others are in other fields and so on. The midwife had already had a child out of marriage, but I adopted that child at the age of 3, and gave her education, and she's an asset to us as well. Yeah, she is progressing very, very well. In other words, my life has not been very difficult at all because of education. What I now trying to emphasize, and I am emphasizing it to everybody, that education is very important. Can prove that. It is correct that we have come here to have knowledge. Because with knowledge, we are able to solve so many problems. To flow of knowledge, your education. You know this path of life.
Thank you so much.
Yeah.
Yeah, so now you've taken us through some of the parts of your history and your life. So now, maybe perhaps share with us and those who are watching, how do you now get in contact with the Church of Jesus Christ of Latter-day Saints?
So, what I wanted to tell you, I'm a roadman, the second phase of this stage. Having been born in the Presbyterian Church by, Christians, in the true sense of the word, Christian. My father is still famous, just like my mother, in the church, Presbyterian Church. But very funny with me as a young man, I was never interested I never felt, I had some questions about those churches. I measured in history about now what made me have those doubts about those churches, and about which I read in history as a history, matric student, So history was one of my subjects. So I discovered now the reason as early as then. And I did not know about this Church of Jesus Christ of Resistance at all. You can't believe me that I came across it only in 1996. When 2 missionaries came in, then they talked about this church. I was so much excited. And I was so excited that I called my wife to come and join me, I was converted that very first day they met me in my house. This is church. Having been to now two churches, the Presbyterian and the Apostolic Church, I was not impressed by those funny things. And even the doctrine, I'm not criticizing them, but I'm telling them the truth that I know now. since 1996. That very first day I joined this church, I was convinced that this was for me. I hated this, as that young, just like Joseph Smith, I behaved just like Joseph Smith. As you find in my book, if you can give me your email address now,
Sure.
I want to get you to send you that as soon as I can show you even email addresses of some people now in my pocket. I think that I have one now.
Okay.
Something like that.
No, I'll definitely send you. I'll definitely send you. So you have these two missionaries coming to visit you, and obviously they share with you some new doctrine or new teachings. But you, according to you, you say that you never had any difficulties accepting.
That first day.
Yeah. So what is it that they shared with you that made you want to believe them and want to be part of this new church that they are bringing?
It is something that it is this apostasy. Apostasy. This is breaking away from the church. And what I hated was that there's some people who were preaching the gospel, and demanding money. My mother was just an ordinary woman, and not having money, but she was doing so much for the church. And I was just asking, where is this money going to? Why should you be paid? That's what I was questioning. Why, by preaching the gospel, you should be paid anything? Why? Those are the things that I do not like at all. People who are poor and so on, having
to pay. Yeah. So now you become a member of the church, and
I became a very attached member of the church.
Yeah.
From the very beginning up to now.
Up to now, yeah, you're still strong.
Yeah.
So I remember when I was on mission, and I didn't serve in Mutata, but I obviously I had friends who served in Mutata who were saying, I think now they call Mutata. So they used to talk about you a lot.
Okay.
Yeah, they used to talk about you a lot. And so sometimes we were jealous, the things that they were saying about the Mbilase, like, who's this Mbilase? But almost everyone who went to Mtata knows about you, knows about your family, especially the hospitality that your family showed them.
From the very outset,
Yeah.
I joined the church and became very important.
Yeah. So now you say you became important. Tell us about, because you were obviously introduced to leadership roles. Talk to us. What was your first responsibility, and maybe other leadership roles that you've played in the church since joining the church?
Those were difficult times. I did not have an easy time. I can, when I could go to one day, probably will be on Tata, I can show you many places where you did not, even now we don't have a chapel. We would be hiring here, a small place, but we were very few. Rising up to hundreds was very difficult. We were very few when we started the church there. I can say, the very first president, came to us now to be with us, a white guy was with us. I was impressed. I forget names now.
It's okay. It's okay.
But I have pictures.
Yes. The memories there.
Yeah, with him. We moved from house to house, renting, and then I was not a leader then.
Okay.
I became, I think, it could be the fourth. Okay. It was the first one, then the second one, then. Could be the head of the fourth.
Okay.
I became the head. You are shocked. I didn't know much about the church then.
Mm,
No, but I became, I tried to find the church,
mm,
you know. I mean, to build the church there in Tata.
mm.
Moving from place to place, I can show that I was here. I found that place myself
Mm,
during my time.
mm, mm, mm.
Then I decided to point at a place which people did not like, and my wife was against it too much too, because they were there. That's where we are even now. We've been there for the longest period in that too.
Mm.
We have already, we have some sites.
Okay.
I know even the sites where we are located, but I didn't like them, even myself.
Okay.
Those places were not good at all. Very close to Ngangelizwe.
Oh,
And there was a very bad place when we go to another town, Rewarded, very close to the road to Rewarded. That was very corrupt place. It was not far from that place. That was a terrible place. But now, hopefully, we're going to have our own chapel.
okay.
Mm.
Nice. Okay, so
So I found that place, and the church grew like anything.
yeah.
We're approaching 200 in number. And even today, I asked my wife about what I would like to ask the president, this president of ours. I would like to I'm just watching that things are right, but I hope to find the opportunity to talk with him.
Okay.
And sit down and we discuss.
Okay.
We show each other, how things that I think are the cause of what I see here.
Okay.
What I see there is what I'm seeing here.
Okay.
We used to have even activities, but during this era of this one, there are men who have been who came after me,
Okay.
just like him,
Okay.
I think he's the third or the fourth after me.
Okay. So yeah, now I hear that you say that you want to speak to your leader back home in Mthatha. Maybe let's move it from him per se. Let's say, what advice, because you've been exposed to leadership, you've been in the church for quite some time.
Yes.
You are a leader yourself. You write books, so that means you've got a lot of leadership in you, and hence you are trying to impart those leadership skills to others as well in your books, but
Even
also
in
the
life,
church. Yes,
for that
even in
matter.
life generally. So, what advice do you have for upcoming leaders? And now I'm specifically referring to those who will be called as branch presidents in the future, bishops. What advice do you have for them?
Yeah, I must just first say, I have been, in life, I've been very, I would say, fortunate, or what. Sometimes I just wonder what people see, because I never applied for any post as a teacher, but I was just seized upon and given a post, and I was compelled to go to that post, despite the fact that I was refusing to go there, during the time of the president of Transkei then, during that, Bantustan era. You see, George Matanzima, Katie Matanzima, during his time. It was a very tough time when I came to Transkei. So, and I was working as a teacher in the first school that I was employed in. After hardships, I couldn't be employed. You know, I applied. I would hand over my, application form to a secretary. It was a white one, a white guy. He would tear it into pieces, my presence. An ex-political prisoner. You can't be employed. Can't do that. Throw it away, you see. So I've been having that tendency of being given books. After that, when I became principal of one high school, I was made to build schools from JC to matric. Taken from this place to this place, were transferred. I've been in a place for 3 years, then taken away. You see, in some places 4 years, 5 years, not beyond that. So I was just roaming about, wondering what's happening to me. I was given a telegram without any consultation, So leadership skills, is something that, you see, in life there are two things. There's order, there's sequence. These are more synonyms, In Xhosa, order, ulandelelwano, things must follow one another. And sequence is following each other as you are marching. You see? It's just like that. You're now conducting, you have to use both hands. See? It's just like that. There are two eyes, two nostrils, even, the mouth, teeth above, teeth. So there's that order. As there is Jesus Christ and there's Satan this side. You must accept that. It's very important. Because according to my reasoning, as you will find even in my books, that there should be a conflict. A conflict is solved by what? Why were you given the brain and your nerves? You send messages to the brain for the solution of the problems of this life, challenges. And the challenges are there for us to be aware. So, as a leader, you must just be ready for that you will get opposition. There's opposition in everything. But what is important, you must be an overcomer of them all the time. You pray our Heavenly Father, to activate the Holy Ghost to work in you, the Spirit must work in you and give you direction. You solve all your problems. As a leader, you must know that it is related that God is there and He loves us all. He has supplied us with everything that He has. You see, we are the replica of God.
Thank you. That is profound. That is profound.
Except now, even immortality, we shall gain immortality as well.
Sure. No, thank you for sharing that. So, since 1996, you've been a member since 1996, so it's now about 40 years. It's 40 years now, if I'm not mistaken. Or more than 40 years you've been a member. This year should be 40 years as a member.
I joined the church in 1996.
Yeah, so now it's 2026, so am I correct to say it's 40 years as a member? Maybe talk to us. What has kept you active, faithful for that long? What keeps you going?
In the scriptures, there are two commandments which are very, very, very important. No wonder they are placed as such even in their order of sequence. The first one, loving God with all your heart, mind, and strength. And those have meanings, things that are felt by the heart. It's not just your you know, it's your feeling inside, you know. It's very, very important. With all your mind, you go. The mind is the solver. It is the headquarters of your whole body to solve your life journey. You know, it guides you. The spirit will guide you, go this way. You see, the mind it will give you order as to what you should do. Must use you. That's why it must be clear. That's why you must be educated, you know, by people who are experienced, you know. They educate you. Just like bring up children, you know, which is very, very important. Education starts at home, you know, opening up the mind of a child who begins to understand the difference between right and wrong at the age of 8 years. You see? You start teaching the child. You see? So education is very, very important for your performance in life. You become a leader because of your knowledge. I encourage education in my house, and my children are educated in processes, as I've said to you, and I am comparing my great grandchildren now to do the same thing. I'm preaching this even to strangers, you know. Love, there are these two laws: love God, and then love your neighbor as yourself. I've written extensively about this. You will know what I mean thoroughly when I give you another book of mine, called The Restoration of Land Without Compensation. And I'm a politician. The church knows that. They know my. You see, the books that I've written, most of them I've already submitted to the church. I submit them to the church. I want the church to have opinions about them. And I asked for permission from my stake president, and he allowed me. You see, I was allowed by the church to write these books. And I said to them, I will not only write them, I want them to go through you. I submit them to them to have them in their computers.
Thank you for allowing us to be privy to that process.
And you can get these books I'm going to send you even through the church, because they already have them. The stake has them.
No, we look forward.
If my president has sent them to the stake, I'm going to ask him. As I say, I intend to sit down with him and talk about certain things that I would like to happen here. And since I no longer see, I used to see, like, for instance, activities. You see, we used to have activities. Where they stopped, I don't know that so far.
No, thank you for sharing that. So I gather that you say education, obviously also referring to spiritual education, has helped you. And someone was just saying to me that my maths is not right, because I was saying it's 40 years, but it's actually 30 years since you've been a member of the church, and that's quite a long time. You know, and that's something that should be applauded, to say that you have been strong and firm, you know, unwavering for that long.
And when I talk about education, I don't mean even in education following one line. gather as much information about every sector of education. You don't have to go very far. This is what I've done. I would have been Dr. Mbilase. I never desired to be like that. It's just that it's just like wearing these garments. Oh, I don't like them, you know. I wear them because there are many too. It's not just one or two, three degrees, different degrees. I did, you know, that first course in teaching, which gave me some degree courses, but I continued that. I did commerce. I have first year BCom. And then I did BProc and then LLB. You see?
Sure.
Then I tried to go for Professor Tata Mbilase. I don't like those things. Just like wearing those garments. So
No, I'm glad that you mentioned the qualifications, because if someone is sleep watching us and they hear the word garment,
what is important is knowledge. And the knowledge is, you know, even those who have not gone to school, you know, there are things that are important that they know. That is according to tradition or custom, you know, up to a certain point, you know, through habits and all. You see, that is all.
okay.
Yeah.
So let's now talk about something which I envy you for. So obviously you spoke to us about the wives that you've had, and obviously you had to part ways with the others, but you are now married with Mama Mbilase, and it's talk to us. How long has it been, and what advice would you give for? I mean, you are 90 this year, and I think Mama Mbilase is about 76, if I'm not mistaken. Uh, what advice do you have for people who young wedded couples, and people who are aspiring for marriage and maybe might be scared to say, in this age and day, is it possible to find the right person? Will I make a good partner? Will I be a good father? Will I be a good mother? What message do you have for those who are aspiring for marriage, who want to be married, and you've been married for so long? What has worked for you in your marriage?
In the first place,
Mm.
I said to you, I never intended to have even the three wives that I've had. And those three wives are as good as being still there, though they are not there. My wife is this one, whom I married in the temple. And she's the only one who has exceeded even all of them in numbers, but that's not the reason why I'm with them. I never quarreled with the very first wife, nor quarreled with the second one, and I discussed with the second one, who is still at my home. We still go together. We've stayed, the two of them stayed with me at my home in Gumbo, which is well built now by my children of the second one. It's a mobile home now. It is her home. It's the home of the third one as well. But you know, I don't take them as my wives now. You know, they know that. But I still, nobody sees that. You know, when I'm with them. Even yesterday, well, from this one here in Cape Town, we paid them a visit. She has two kids here. One is having property here in Cape Town, and even you know, Saldanha Bay. Yeah, we are from Saldanha Bay now, you know. We visit them. When we come to Cape Town, we visit them. There's no problem. So it is no, you can go to my home at Mbilase, find that one, she's still there, enjoying life. as if then but we can't share a bed together. Even if we can't really share the bed together. We may share a room together, but not a bed together. Which means then we have to abide. I know that polygamy was even there in the Bible itself, even during the time of Joseph Smith, even Joseph Smith for that matter, you know. But you see, that is it's not an easy task, I must just say, you know, because of very difficult management. It's not easy to manage, you know, a very, very big group of people, you know. A large family like that, you know, but generally a large family by clan or whatnot, you can manage, you know. So it's not wise to go for. I'm not encouraging polygamy. You are making life difficult. You see, but you know, as I said from the very beginning, you are guided by the Holy Ghost. But something that you should know that your path is not directed by you. We have our Heavenly Father who is omniscient, omnipotent, who directs us in life and so on. But He does not force anybody, you know. Agency is your right to choose between right and wrong. Nobody is compelled to do anything, you know, so that you don't blame. You blame yourself. So young men should take that seriously. They must be educated, have a better half, you know, and then they build their life around them.
Together. Yeah. So I'm not sure if but I would love our viewers to have an understanding of this, and maybe you'll maybe cut me off if I'm being offside. You were in a polygamous marriage before you joined the church.
Yes.
And then you were taught the gospel of Jesus Christ. And in these teachings, you were explained in terms of how the church follows this pattern of one wife. And something touched you, and you had to make a decision. Because you believed what the missionaries or the leaders of the church were teaching you, you decided to make that hard decision. Do you want to talk to us about that? Or
I was never ever, nobody, I don't think many people will be shocked by what I've written even in my book without fear. It's history. You see, it's an event that happened, you know, unintentionally. You can't be convicted in court having done the thing unintentionally. You see, you didn't know, you know. Myself, I was compelled to be, I never even thought of having two wives. But I thank my Heavenly Father that I've had as many as three of them. Now I'm old, I can't have the fourth one or the fifth one. Yes. But I would not stay alone, you know. You see, should this one go, I can take one of these until they are finished, you know.
Yeah. But to be honest, this is a faith promoting story.
I don't see any wrong that I've done.
No, I don't think, and especially that when you were shown the right path or the correct way, you were willing to move in that, and that takes courage.
Heavenly Father, man, I don't know how I can. You know, I don't know how I can understand that I know that He receives what I'm saying. Even in my prayers, I pray daily, thanking Him for my life. It's a big family. I think I've exceeded now 67. 60 great grandchildren and grandchildren together, apart from children who are now 14 alive. You see? Yeah.
No, thank you so much, That I think you have been an example to many of us who have known you, who have heard about you, even before meeting you. We've heard some great stuff about you. But yeah, just hearing your life and your story, even some of the things that we did not touch in this video, just shows how committed and dedicated you are. You know, from the very first day you heard about this wonderful message of Jesus Christ and His restored church, you embraced it and you were able and willing to make the necessary adjustments. You know, maybe perhaps in closing, share with us your testimony of the Savior Jesus Christ.
You know, I've never, I've not seen yet, nor do I think that I've reached his level. When I look even at his photographs, people are photographing him, though these are just photographs, representing him, but they are just the correct photographs that should represent the people. In the first place, when I see him, I see what is called a gentleman. He is very humble, so loving, even in the photographs, when looking at the people, when I look at those photographs, I just feel his presence. And I really believe he was just like that to the people. And it is something we are going to read about in my book called The Restoration of Land Without Compensation. We have talked about this too lot. What I'm preaching to the people, what they should do in this political dispensation of ours in South Africa. You see, it's a pity that, we're having these expulsions of these people. You see, they can deal with these people in various ways, one of which I would propose that they consult with these people who are here illegally. How did they come here? Why are they here? You see, as I was going to be a refugee myself, if I would be treated in the same way elsewhere, would I be happy? Would I not be shocked? Personally, I can go as a political prisoner, as a political person. If you would go with me, you would really, as some guys who have gone with me can testify to what I'm saying. I don't like discrimination at all. We're born as souls. Is there any difference between one soul and another? Is there any difference from the beginning? Except the one difference of creating opposition, creating Jesus. Jesus has to be on this side and Satan to be on this side. One spirit this side, another on this side. You see? There's no difference. Then I don't like distribution on that first ground. And then there are two places. There's heaven divided into three kingdoms according to our degrees of our glory, That is according to our degrees of our performances here. How have you performed here? Are you, driving smartly? When I see people driving or doing it, hey, that one is the best. Was selected like that, So there should be no discrimination. I'm against it at all. I don't want it. For the happiness of all of us. What you should create is an environment of happiness for everybody, of opportunities for everybody. Happiness will come from having equal opportunities. You see? Yeah. But there's agency. You have to choose. When your child go to school, be educated by child, and then your child judges you, well, it's up to that person. Especially when he's old, you can try to persuade him very hard. But don't have to force him. You see?
No, thank you, Tata. Thank you for sharing that with us, and thank you for the person, and I mean this, and I say this on behalf of all those missionaries that served in Tata, those who served in the South Africa Cape Town mission, those who never had the opportunity to thank you. On their behalf, I want to say thank you. Thank you for what you have done for them, what you have done to them, and I really want to thank you on their behalf as well, to say that your testimony, your faithfulness in the gospel has really strengthened a lot of people. And some of them you might not be aware. But I'm telling you, wherever they are now, when they hear the name Mbilase, they definitely have a recollection of the hospitality, the treatment, the warmth that they felt when they entered your home. So for that, I want to say thank you. And thank you for
We can build heaven here on earth.
100%.
We must build heaven here.
100%. No, thank you so much, Tata. Thank you so much.